everybody. My name is Rebecca Wilson. I'm 51. I live in the state of Arkansas in the United States. I have a husband that I've been married to for almost 30 years, and I have two adult children. I also have some pets that keep me busy. I've got two dogs and two cats, and a small flock of chickens. The dogs become important later on in our conversation. But I've been working with Strength Matters since the summer of 2018, primarily Josh Kennedy. Sometimes James Breese is delightful enough to sub in while Josh is on vacation or has other duties calling. But I've been working with Josh for so long and continue to work with Josh and James because they have elevated my strength training and just my overall health and wellness game in ways that are hard to describe and hard to measure, but I'll go ahead and try. I was on a fitness journey. By the time I started working with Strength Matters, I've been exercising and lifting weights for about 18 years. When I hit 30 and had my second child, I realized, hey, I'm actually going to have to figure out some sort of movement and exercise that I do enjoy. And through a series of trials and errors, I found that weightlifting and a focus on nutrition was what worked for me. Started out with Bill Phillips' Body for Life, and I know that's probably not the textbook classic example that people would recommend now, but for me it was actually very helpful in starting my fitness journey. It was a program I stuck with. I did see some results that were positive, so at the time I lost some mommy fat and gained some confidence with using weights, and for me that was addictive and empowering. And throughout the years I worked with a number of coaches, most of them online, just because of where I am in the US. I had limited access to the types of health and fitness professionals that I felt like were the best trained and offered the best experiences. But through the networking of health professionals I worked with, I found out about Strength Matters, and they had a program. They were running some sort of summer special. I reached out, and it was interesting because James, once he did some basic assessments on me, he said, well, you're not really a good fit for our program because of your lack of flexibility and some imbalances that could lead to some injury with this program. But if you're willing, we can set you up with some personalized coaching. And it was much more expensive, to be transparent, but it was actually the best investment I could make once I went down that path. James and Josh are both very thorough and very practical in what they explain to clients, but to sum up my issues, I had a lifetime of some tight areas of my body, hips and ankles, shoulders in particular, upper back, to where it limited my ability to do more advanced movements safely. And what has happened over the years of me working with Josh and James is that there's been a focus on correcting those imbalances and improving my overall fitness. So one of the things that I thought was good before I started working with Strength Matters before, but in no way could I have understood how much better it got, was my core strength. And at 51, I have way better abs, visible abs, even when I carry excess COVID or holiday fat. I still have visible abs, and I can thank Josh for that with his focus on core strength. And that was also helpful because I'd had back surgery in 2011 to address a herniated disc. And so this core strength has really been very therapeutic and in rehabilitating my ability to move around safely and exercise in the way that I like. So Josh also worked on all of those tight areas and imbalances, like I mentioned. So I have been able to do a much better squat, body weight squat. I've always been okay with squats had a weight because I had that counterbalance, but body weight, I couldn't get to depth or hold it for very long, and that has been vastly improved. It's not perfect, but vastly improved. Josh has worked on my ankle mobility and my, I keep talking about core strength. That was a huge improvement. And he's worked on uh, shoulder mobility right now. That's one of my big focuses, is so that this upper body can twist in the right way that's safe, and that I can be set up for, longevity, I think, in being active, and also having strength to do things that are part of my life. Hauling chicken feed, heavy bags of chicken feed, and the dogs, keeping up with the dogs. My dogs are very large, so I need to be able to keep up with them, and also make sure that they behave, which sometimes involves a little bit of strength, more than the average bear. But I just feel like the Strength Matters program, holistically focusing on my quality of movement, as well as strength and cardio fitness, which that's also improved. There's been a focus on improving my cardio, because I'm not a fan of running, or I'm not a huge fan of cycling, even though I do that some to keep up with my husband and daughter. They're both avid cyclists, but just the ability and confidence cardio wise that I can jump in and do something like ride. When we went on a recent trip, I went to Washington, D.C., and I was able to ride to Mount Vernon, a 10-mile trip one way, and then ride back to Alexandria, where the bike shop was. I was able to do that, and that was no problem, because Strength Matters had helped me, had a cardio base that I can do whatever activity. And if you are thinking about the Strength Matters program, I highly encourage you to do so, because it's holistic, it's personal, and it's all about a strong quality of life. It's not about goals that are separate from yours. So if there's things you don't like, they will adjust. Movements you don't like, or things that you don't prefer to do, there's other ways to achieve your goals, and they help you find those methods and ways. And I just feel like Josh and James have worked so hard that I'm set up for athletic life, no matter what my age. So thanks, Josh and James, and I'm glad to be able to help endorse your programming and your services. Y'all are awesome. Thank you.